stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
In a relationship with someone and you feel resentment climbing up on you, that's an indication of one of two things. You're either immature and unwilling to make the sacrifices necessary for the relationship or to negotiate fairly within the relationship, and then you should mature out of that as fast as you possibly can, and maybe you can do that through dialogue with your partner. Or the resentment might mean that you are in fact being taken advantage of and that you have something to say. And so don't let, if resentment pops up, find out whether you're immature or being oppressed. And if it's the latter, then you have something to say, to enter into a negotiation. And the negotiation should be that you both get something better than either of you would have had if you were separate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to KBLA Talk 1580 live from the heart of Leimert Park. Very interesting topic for tonight. Oh, man, this is a doozy. You know, I love it when people send me topics, and this is one of those topics that gets the proverbial juices flowing. That clip was, of course, the incomparable Jordan Peterson. Very heavy topic. I want you guys to join me in this non-judgmental space, meaning everybody can say what they need to say, express how they need to express, share what they need to share, as long as it's on topic and there's no profanity. Tonight's topic is called irreconcilable. What relationship challenges can you live with? In other words, what flaws in your partner, what limitations within your partner can you live with? Because at some point, you're going to run aground, with some aspect of their character that will be irreconcilable. some aspect of their personality, some belief system, some limiting belief system that they may have that cannot be reconciled. Many times we believe coming into an intimate relationship that it's going to be all good, it's going to be all roses, it's going to be great, and we're going to be able to reconcile differences. But just like in the study of conflict, what was known as conflict resolution, they had to change the name because they understood that conflict is perpetual, right? So it's no longer conflict resolution, it's conflict management. Conflict within intimate relationships is a lot like revolving debt. You can pay down some of it, but most of the time you can't pay down all of it. Not saying it's impossible, but improbable. Irreconcilable. What? Listen to what I'm saying. What relationship challenges can you live with? Not what you can't live with. It's easy to construct a script of what we can't tolerate or what we won't tolerate. But now my question becomes, when you're dealing with a work in progress, i.e. a human being, somebody that's always got something going on internally, someone that always has shortcoming, oh, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. Yes, those kind of people, which is everybody, right? What can you live with? Right? A deeper look into what you may dislike about your partner, but have to put up with. Interesting topic, right? A deeper look into what you may dislike about your significant other, but may have to just put up with. Huh? Do you only put up / deal with the mess of folks that have intrinsic value to you? They're valuable to me, so this is something I can deal with. This is something I have to tolerate. What is that something? 1-800-920-1580. I want to know. What are you willing to put up with? And this is the word they use nowadays, for your person, right? That's subjective too. Your person. How do you determine the intrinsic value of a person in relationship? Can you provide examples of relationship challenges that you consider to be irreconcilable, yet still choose to tolerate? That's a very nuanced question. Can you provide examples? Because this is going to let me know if you are mature, right? As Jordan Peterson outlined. Can you provide examples of relationship difficulties and challenges that you consider to be irreconcilable? We ain't going to be able to fix that. But yet you still choose to be with this person, to tolerate those challenges. What factors contribute to your willingness to tolerate certain aspects of your partner that you may dislike? I want to hear from couples tonight. I want to hear from singles tonight. Right? What aspect of your partner that you're like, you know what? Oh, gosh, I'm going to have to tolerate this aspect. And I want to see how deep or how shallow, right, your willingness goes. How do you strike a balance between accepting your partner's flaws and maintaining your own personal boundaries and well-being? Can you share any personal experiences where you had to make the decision to tolerate a challenging aspect of your partner? How did you navigate through it? Is there a limit to what you can tolerate in a relationship? If so, how do you determine that limit? How do you communicate your feelings and concerns about the aspects of your partner that you find challenging? How do you find a resolution and or compromise? Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody is broken to some degree. Everybody has something to work on. Everybody got issues. But I want to know, what level, what value, what intrinsic value would keep you there? 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. I want to talk to y'all.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LADWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water-efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high-efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LADWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, this song, this song is for all the women out there that have been lied to by their men. And I know y'all been lied to over and over again. This is for y'all, yo. Maybe you didn't break the way you should have broke, yo. But I break.
Last year, Valentine's Day, you would warmly say, babe, I love you, love you.
Yo, he's lying.
I swear, held you when you were sick, even the whole time I think to myself, this isn't fair. What is this I see?
No.
You don't come home to me.
Oh, no.
When you don't come home to me.
Man.
Can't deal, can't bear. You keep telling me lies, but to your surprise, look, I found her, red coat and your bitch caught out there.
I hate you.
You need to accept your differences. You and your spouse are different. You can judge them as weaknesses, get frustrated by them, or we can accept and value them as strengths and look for ways to celebrate our differences. You need to accept the fact that you're different. Whoever you marry, you get a set of irreconcilable differences. Too many couples spending energy trying to resolve them when they're never going to be resolved. You may need to accept them. Now, I'm not talking about toxic or damaging patterns or behaviors. I'm talking about the fact that we're different. We process different speeds. We like different things. We're wired different. We have different temperaments. You're not going to resolve those. You need to learn to accept those differences. When you do, you can look at them in a whole new light. You can value them. You can celebrate them.
Man, determining the intrinsic value of a person in a relationship is a subjective process. It involves recognizing and appreciating the qualities, characteristics, and contributions that make the person valuable to you. When a person can't stick it out with you and your flaws, what does that say about them? Jordan Peterson speaks of a certain level of maturity, because at a certain level, you recognize I'm not with Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. At a certain level of maturity, you recognize I am dealing with a complex being that has highs and lows and shortcomings. I'm asking you, what shortcomings can you tolerate? Right? In your partner. Right? This intrinsic value can be based on emotional connections, shared values, mutual respect, and the potential for growth and fulfillment that the relationship might be able to bring to you. Examples of relationship challenges that may be considered intolerable, but still tolerated, can vary greatly depending on the individual circumstances. Some common examples include differences in communication styles, varying levels of cleanliness or organization, right? Incompatible hobbies or interests, or even fundamental differences in values or beliefs. Tolerating these challenges often requires a willingness to compromise, adapt, and find common ground. Can you find common ground in a cheater? Somebody who, not a cheater. Let me make the distinction. Someone who cheated on you. If they only cheated on you once, is cheating on you once enough to devalue the person and the relationship and bounce? Or is that something, listen to what I'm saying, or is that act, if you value this person and you love this person and they mean something to you and you know they're irreplaceable, ask yourself, is one act of cheating enough for you to say, never mind? I want to know what you can deal with. What is your tolerance level? Several factors contribute to one's willingness to tolerate certain aspects of their partner. These factors may include the overall quality of the relationship, the level of commitment and investment, the presence of positive attitudes that outweigh the challenges, and the belief in the potential growth and change for the relationship. Very interesting stuff we're cooking with tonight. I want to know what y'all think. We got callers on the line. I can't see your name. I think Sean is on one. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Well, brother, this is a very complicated one, but let me just say it this way. And I don't know how this is going to come out, but, when you're first meeting with someone, talking about a relationship, someone you want to, get to know better and all that kind of stuff, before you get to the engagement and the marriage and all that, okay? At the very beginning, all right, lots of questions need to happen. Lots of figuring each other out, has to happen, okay? Because I heard this one thing, though, it was probably like 15 years ago or so, and it was a sad situation. A couple was getting divorced, but I was in the meeting. It was a family thing and all that, and they were talking about all this, and they were saying, it's all over. We're not going to deal with this. And my uncle, my uncle came out with the most amazing thing. He said, well, you picked him. You picked him. So what I'm trying to say here is that not a dog, the dogging thing, like, yo mama thing. But what I'm saying is at the very beginning, you'll see signs. You will see signs of people that can't get through these difficult struggles with you. They can't get through all these things. So it's really not all those other things, like you don't like the way they do their hair, you don't like the way they keep the house clean. No. It's bigger things. When what hits the fan. Are they going to be down with you? Are they going to be able to get through it with you? That's really what it's all about, because we all going to have crisis, different situations. We're all going to have crisis. Did you pick the person that's going to be able to get through any crisis with you?
Wow. How do you pick the person that's going to be able to get through any crisis with you, Sean? That's
maybe
heavy.
Not. Well, maybe not. Maybe you're not going to be able to do that. But that's what I think the very basic of the foundation should be. If I'm looking at my kids and stuff, just make sure, whoever you're going to, want to be with, because I can't make that decision, but they're going to be able to handle any challenge that comes before you, at least communicate with you the best way they can to, you can work with this person in the most difficult situations. I think that's a better way to say it. Be able to pick someone that can work through the most difficult situation you can ever imagine in your mind, and even if they don't do that, hey, that's life. But you're going to have a crisis. You're going to have some difficulty in your life. You're going to have something that's very hard to deal with. And so if you're going to be with someone else and you're a team, then you got to be able to work through it. And it's going to be messy. It's going to be difficult through the process. But you want that person that's going to hang with you through the process and work to the end, and hopefully at the end, because there's no guarantees, at the end, you're going to make it through together.
Man, Sean, guess what you just did?
Brother Oakland's always in the house.
Oaktown, Bay Area, town business. Listen, I want to hear from y'all. Get to your phone lines, 1-800-920-1580. Pick me Bree from Los Angeles. Get in here.
What's up, though? How you doing?
I'm alive and well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, okay. Let me first start off with a little bit of what the brother was talking about. I completely agree with everything. More so than picking the right person, though, I think it's equally important to build the right foundation. We're just doing all these quickie relationships, getting to the sex quick, getting to, vacations quick, getting to just rushing through the process to where we're not actually building a foundation to the point where a person would stay with you during those hard times. Now, to the topic, I personally can tolerate a lot if I really, really like the person. I've tolerated cheating if I can understand it. But a lot of the things that I've struggled as far as what I tolerate is things that question and conflict with my comfortability. Some of those being examples of the person that I'm with now. I had to overcome the fact that, hey, I can't just come and go as I please like I'm used to. I actually have to be held accountable when I leave the house. I actually have to communicate a certain way. I have to do things a certain way because I'm in his home. Those things that question my comfortability were those main things that I struggled with.
That's heavy. That's deep. And let me just ask, the fact that you have to adjust and adapt and change to fit kind of what he's talking about, do you think that is eroding the relationship, at least on your end?
Oh, eroding. Can you give me a simpler word?
Breaking it down, wearing it down.
Oh.
Like, do you think you'll be able to handle this from this point on?
Now, honestly, in the beginning, no, I was fighting it. But luckily, I had someone who cared about me enough to stick it out with me. Once I got to the point as a woman to where I was like, okay, I trust this man. He's not telling me these things because he's trying to control me or upset me, but he's doing it because he has my best interest at heart. Once I actually put that trust in him to guide me, then it actually began to enhance the relationship. And I began to see, oh, things could be a lot easier. I'm actually working too hard. You know, I'm working against myself.
So there are women out there who actually trust their men to be able to guide them still?
We rare, but we out here.
That's like a dinosaur almost.
It is, but I mean, honestly, it's not talked about enough. There's amazing men out here. It's just we're just nitpicking every little thing. Oh, he took me here for my first date. Oh, he wears this. Oh, he don't live here. Oh, he don't drive that. It's like we're so just caught up in this vision of what we think our relationship's supposed to look like. We're not even really getting to know people for real. We're not trying to like people. When we meet people, we're looking to disqualify them instead of actually to qualify them. It's just crazy.
Man, guess what you just did, Pick Me Bree?
LA.
La Leezy in the Heezy. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear from you. Let's get it.
Of your games, I'll set your truck to flames and watch it blow up, blow up. I mean, how you gonna see it now? So far from sincere.
I love you.
Fabrications in my ear drive me so far up the wall. I come sliding down. What is this I see?
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City advocates and elected officials are calling on the Adams administration to allow migrant families to stay in shelters. Their demands come as 60-day notices come due for the first of thousands of migrant families in shelters. The initial deadline was supposed to fall right after Christmas, but the Black mayor's administration extended it by 2 weeks. That means migrant families have to pack up from the hotels they've been staying in and reapply for shelter. However, advocates are concerned families will be relocated and many migrant children will have to leave the schools. The Spokane, Washington City Council is making history by swearing in the city's first Black president. Betsy Wilkerson is taking the oath of office alongside new council members Michael Cathcart, Paul Dillon, and Kitty Klitsky. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes. I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions because we've got your black. Listen up. If you're one of the more than 100,000 California tenants who were rejected or delayed when applying for COVID rental assistance, you've got a second chance. Under the terms of a new settlement, California's Housing and Community Development Department agreed to audit its past denials. The program ended in March 2022, but the advocacy groups, Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, Policy Link, and Strategic Actions for a Just Economy sued the department. According to the coalition's analysis of state data, the department rejected nearly 30% of all applicants. Under the settlement, the department agreed to clear all renters in the pipeline within 6 months. The settlement applies to anyone who sought assistance from the state's Housing is Key program before April 1st, 2022, whose applications is pending or was denied after June 6, 2022. Tenants who have questions about the status of their application can call the hotline at 833-430-2122. That's 833-430-2122. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of This Light of Ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement, a dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This Light of Ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This Light of Ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just had a fight with my woman over something trivial told. We rarely have confrontation, and if the I said really was bold, I think she get it from my mama. Her bitterness passed down from old. When I'm calling out her drama, she too defensive to listen, I'll call so. Look at me, I got problems. You got the type of advice that I need. I couldn't get through on the mention series. Dana was holding up the time that I need. Between working her being so clingy, plus the time zone difference don't make it more easy. So I figured I'd call in early, turn my life down, mercy, I got through. You tuned in, yeah. The show. So just lay back your mind, something new. Everybody tuning in the zone. Cause he is.
The decision whether one should stay or leave is one of the most consequential and painful any of us ever has to make. On any given day, many millions of people worldwide will be secretly turning the issue over in their minds as they go about their daily lives, their partners beside them possibly having little clue as to the momentous decision weighing upon them. The choice is perhaps more common now than it ever was. We expect to be deeply happy in love, and therefore spend a good deal of time wondering whether our relationships are essentially normal in their sexual and psychological frustrations, or are beset by unusually pathological patterns which should impel us to get out as soon as we can. What films or novels we've been exposed to, the state of our friends' relationships, the degree of noise surrounding new sexually driven dating apps, not to mention how much sleep we've had, can all play humblingly large roles in influencing us one way or another. Awkwardly, it seems that no one else actually really minds what we end up doing, which gives the decision a degree of existential loneliness it might not always have possessed. Historically, the choice was, in a sense, a good deal easier because there were simply so many stern external sanctions around not leaving. Religions would insist that God blessed unions and would be furious at their being torn asunder. Society strongly disapproved of breakups and cast separating parties into decades of ignominy and shame. And psychologists would explain that children would be deeply and permanently scarred by any termination in their parents' relationship. But one by one, these objections to quitting have fallen away. Religions no longer terrify us into staying. Society doesn't care. And psychologists now routinely tell us that children would prefer a broken family to an unhappy one. The burden...
Wow! So we went from a time where God didn't like the breakup to a time where now children prefer a broken family. Now, let me just say this. Whenever we get these newfangled ideas, right, in our minds about relationship, you know what happens? We tend to misinterpret the depth of what these new ideas actually mean and can imply, right? So yes, nowadays people are empowered by breaking up. The person who breaks up feels the best because they're in a position of power, right? They get to leave. You're the one pining after them, right? Again, you break up if your life is in danger. You break up if, some people would say, if you're unhappy. Well, if you haven't mastered the inside happiness job, should you blame that breakup on the person you broke up with? See, I believe, and maybe you agree or disagree, but I believe relationships are designed to go through hell. And when you find the right person, the flames of that hell transform the people in the relationship. It actually makes them better if they can survive the spirit burns, as I call it. Every time you sit down and you talk to an old couple that have been together for decades, they tell you, I didn't always like Rufus. I didn't always like Betsy Jean either. But we found a way. What was the way? And you start to hear sage wisdom. And I'm not talking about your grandparents. I'm talking about some older relationships. I'm not talking about living in a situation where your grandmama was abused by your grandfather, mister. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about couples who found a way to heal their internal issues and their flaws. Were they the living embodiment of tonight's topic? Irreconcilable. What relationship challenges can you live with? A deeper look into what you may dislike or disapprove or disagree or downright hate about your partner, but have to put up with. This is an interesting topic, right? Can you share any insights on the role of love and commitment in tolerating aspects of your partner that may be difficult for you? Listen, y'all know me, Andy, do I believe that love can conquer everything, Andy? Do I believe that love can heal every situation, Andy? Do I believe that?
I'd like to think that you do.
That's what I believe. But do you know what? I'm starting to change my belief. And only slightly. Everybody gets to a point in a relationship, if it lasts long enough, to where they're professing love. Everybody believes they're in love. But if you can't keep going, if you can't live with the human, right, the humanity of a person, now the question becomes, did you really love them? You've all heard me say love is a high level of consciousness. Love is not a verb. Love is synonymous with God. And I believe when you achieve that level of self-realization, then the humanity of your partner can be overcome. But down at the lower levels of consciousness, I just got tired. I just didn't think I could, you know what, I was exhausted. Is exhaustion stronger than unconditional love? Listen to that question. Can you share any insights on the role of love and commitment in tolerating aspects of your partner that may be difficult? How do you maintain a sense of hope and optimism for the future of your relationship despite your partner's challenging aspects? These are real deal questions. And many people don't ask these questions. They just relate until it breaks. 1-800-920-1580. We got Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. Attila?
Uncle Joe, my bad. Okay, I don't know why my my volume button wouldn't go off. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm all right. What are your
Good.
thoughts on tonight's topic?
All right, I had to take a couple of notes because, I'd be forgetting my thoughts. All right, so I got a couple of things. The relationship challenges, right? I would even lump that into non-negotiables. And I believe that we base those off of like the first 90 days prior to shadow reveals, right? Second thing, I think that we have to transform our perspective when it comes to separations and breakups, right? To me, that doesn't always mean an ending. It's more so of if you have a mindset of growth, that is your time to get your things together, to really think about what it is that you need to transform in your own personal life, and then kind of regroup and take that back to your partner. But as far as, again, like I said, when it comes to the relationship challenges that we face, I still feel like we base how we want to deal with challenges and what it is that we choose to put up with based on what we thought we were going to get.
Wait, ooh.
Versus what we actually got.
Wait, stop. Hold on. Andy, real quick. Do you have that clip from the beginning of the show? Our guy, Jordan Peterson? Because, whoa! I don't know if y'all heard what Attila just said. But come on now. That's just, when you get it, please play it. Play it right now.
You need to accept your differences. You and your spouse are different. You can judge them as weaknesses, get frustrated by them, or we can accept and value them as strengths and look for ways to celebrate our differences. You need to accept the fact that you're different. Whoever you marry, you get a set of irreconcilable differences. Too many couples spending energy trying to resolve them when they're never going to be resolved. You may need to accept them. Now, I'm not talking about toxic or damaging patterns or behaviors. I'm talking about the fact that we're different. We process different speeds. We like different things. We're wired different. We have different temperaments. You're not going to resolve those. You need to learn to accept those differences. When you do, you can look at them in a whole new light. You can value them. You can celebrate them.
Now, I'll take that clip. That's not Jordan Peterson. But I'll take that clip. But he reinforces the point. In order, right, to be able to say, you know what, my partner is a human being acceptance is a big piece. But if you got that clip, I'm ready for it. Jordan Peterson.
In a relationship with someone and you feel resentment climbing up on you, that's an indication of one of two things. You're either immature and unwilling to make the sacrifices necessary for the relationship or to negotiate fairly within the relationship. And then you should mature out of that as fast as you possibly can. And maybe you can do that through dialogue with your partner. Or the resentment might mean that you are in fact being taken advantage of and that you have something to say. And so don't let, if resentment pops up, find out whether you're immature or being oppressed. And if it's the latter, then you have something to say to enter into a negotiation.
Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen, and Attila. If your person cheated on you and lied about it because they were scared they would lose you, are you being oppressed?
No.
I want to dig into this because so many people pick me Bree. Infidelity. Everybody saying infidelity is the one thing I can't tolerate. What if your partner cheated on you? They really love you. They changed their whole life. They reorganized their whole life to show you improved behavior, a change of heart and mind, right? And you still can't tolerate them. Talk to me about this.
No, I feel like there's much worse things that can happen than cheating. Cheating is not the end all be all for me, personally.
Wait, say it again.
And cheating is not an end all be all for me.
Well,
personally.
That's for you. For some people,
personally, yeah.
Yes. For many people,
for some people, I think it's more of an ego thing, and ego. But then there's also kind of that idea of the trust. And to me, instead of it depends on what you want to focus on. What is your perspective? Is your perspective on the violation, or is your perspective on what needs to be done going forward? That's the question.
What
you
are
just
you
have to make up
focused
your
on?
mind.
Stay with me, Attila, when we come forward. More from Houston, Texas.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's that on that beat? I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Middle finger up to my competition. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. We got differences. Irreconcilable. What relationship challenges in your partner? Right? Dysfunction. What relationship dysfunction? What relationship issues within your partner can you actually live with? 1-800-920-1580. Let's get Attila back in here. Attila, finish it up. Give us your final thought.
Uncle Joe. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm more of a solutions-focused person once I've decided that, yes, I want to stay in this connection. However, I understand that when it comes to infidelities and things like that, you know, people have a right to make whatever choices that they want to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I would advise that when you found, as you say, an irreplaceable connection, you first have to be able to identify that. Some people can't even identify the irreplaceable things within themselves, the things that make them them, that are unique. So how could they identify it within you? They're blind to that. So first you'd have to do that to understand that this is a soulmate, whatever, however you want to call it, right? And then once you've done that, then you have to decide, okay, so I might have to put my pride to the side and my ego to the side for this situation to understand where they're coming from and understand what it is that we need to do going forward. But, you know, to me, it's just a matter of choices. And I'm always going to err on the side of caution. You know, I'm okay with, honestly, with getting my heart broke. I don't think that that's the worst thing in the world. I just don't. But that's me. So I don't know.
Right. That's definitely you now. Hey, hold on. That's definitely you. Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, H-Town in the building. If you want to bring your city, you know the drill. Hey, Cassandra out of Wisconsin, get up in here. Cassandra, you there? Cassandra. What up? Talk to me, Cassandra. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So, for tonight, I understand that in most cases, what I observed is a lot of people go into relationships looking at relationships the wrong way. And I think that's the start of the issue. Relationship to me, and what I think best way to look at relationship as an experience. You go into the relationship not as a judgment. You're not a judge, but you're experiencing this person to see if we are relatable so we could get on this ship and journey life together. And to go off what you were saying about if a person cheats, if a person lied to you, or whatever mistakes that they're making, that may be a part of your non-negotiable, you got to go back to what is the purpose of this relationship. And if your relationship is building an empire, if your relationship is, I want to start a church with you, whatever imagery you're using, it's got to go along with the relationship. And for the most case, when you brought up our grandparents, their purpose was to raise their children and leave them something. So those grandmothers weren't searching for something wrong. They weren't looking to see what his shirt smelled like. They just put it in the washer. And I think our
right. I hear you. I
So,
hear you.
in our society, it's more about the photograph and what we can induce people to love and like us. So if that's the case, now the ego is working. So a lot of relationships, like you said, you got so many children that are growing up in single parent homes because people care about an image more than a purpose. And that's why we have so many single mothers and single fathers out there in poverty because they weren't focused from the beginning. They weren't trying to have a relationship and an experience. They were trying to find someone they can judge. Ooh. And just like a judge, time you do something wrong, here you're on probation. I'm giving you life. And that's what I see the issue, especially for the Black community. We're not holding families together because of the ego.
Cassandra got the same name as my big sister. Let me say this, Cassandra. Guess what you just did? Do you know what you just did, Cassandra?
A little bit.
Well, say it. You brought Wisconsin in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. We got legend on the line. Hold on. Ronan from Indianapolis. Oh, Lord. Listen, Ronan, I don't even want to get you started right now because I'm going to have to carry you forward. But Ronan, hold tight, Ronan. When we come forward, we're going to give y'all a treat because I know Ronan got some quips. He got something to say. But I really want y'all to understand something, man. You're going to have to tolerate something, right? You're going to have to deal with something that's coming from your partner. And tonight's question is probably a question you haven't heard before. What relationship issues that your partner brings to the table you can live with? A deeper look into what you may dislike about your partner but will have to put up with. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Middle finger up to my competition. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on